Today I'm working on this 99 Chevy C2500. I'm working on the spare tire carrier. Right now I'm just holding it down with a chain in the back, but it does have a built-in carrier that's broken. And this is the assembly. I pulled it out. It's got it mounts to the frame with two 15mm sized bolts, and this brass piece here is the drive to raise and lower the cable, and the cable is supposed to come out of here. So this is all I have, and I can't find a replacement for this for some reason. Looked around. It says Dura on there, and Dura Auto Systems, D-U-R-A. And right here's the, even though I've got a hydraulic lift, there's a hole right there. That's where the spare is raised and lowered. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and salvage this one and fix it. What I think I can do is cut these 4 rivets off, and that will allow me to take this cover off, and then I can see if I need to add a cable or just what's going on inside of this thing. It's pretty impressive, I think. I think it's well made. This piece appears to be brass, and it's got some nice seals on it. There's a pretty ingenious clip, I'll show you later, that clips this to the drive. And that appears to be a weep hole, I guess. I'm not sure what that little rubber thing is there, but looks to me like there's 4 rivets holding the cover, the front onto the back. And so I'm going to try and cut them with a Dremel, and if that ends up being slow, I think I can drill them. They look like they're center, they got a center hole. So that'd be another convenient way to do it, is put it in a drill press and drill those out. So first I'm going to try my Dremel. Got a cutoff wheel here. I'm going to just put it in this vise. Hold it where I can get to those conveniently there. Right here. I'm going to wear a mask because of the abrasive dust coming off of this. And of course some glasses. If this takes too long, I will probably go to a drill press. But we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty happy with the speed of that. My wheel could be bigger. I might change to a larger wheel. I think it worked pretty good. Got those two. I'll just switch over and do the, these are the other 2 rivets. And then once the rivets are off, it should be able to open up and reveal its secrets. Yeah, a larger wheel would help. It's getting into the, I think I am going to switch over to a larger bit. Got a larger diameter one here. I think that'll go a lot better. All right, looking good. Got a bigger wheel, should go great. Nice. Well, that was pretty quick. Now I can pry that open, and hopefully there's no spring or something crazy in this thing. Take this seal off here. I'm not sure what I'm going to see when I pop this open, but I'm going to find out. Well, the Dremel did a great job of cutting those 4 rivets, and now I'm going to see what's inside of this thing. It's very interesting. I'm impressed with the design. I may have to use a hammer to get this thing. There she goes. Depending on these, I might actually have to punch these rivets out. It's probably a good idea to do instead of bending it. And so I've got some punches here. Let's pick one I think is about right.
It's ready when you are.
Okay. Found that one. Two out. It looks like these 2 large rivets need to come out too. These have to come out. So I punched out these 4 rivets, but there's 2 more that seem to go all the way through the case. And I guess I'll use the Dremel again. Try and buzz these off. Okay, these are larger. See if I can punch these things out. Yeah, there's a lot of grease in there. You can see how greasy that rivet is. This one here, yeah, that one just fell right out. So now the moment of truth. Let's see what's in this thing. This rivet, evidently, I need to buzz a little more. Get that one out. Interesting, interesting. So it appears, let's see, kind of worried if there's a spring or something that's going to fly out here. Just looking at the way this put together. Trying to understand how it works. Looks like there's some sort of latch right here. I'm not sure what triggers it. I'm going to wipe the grease away. So it could be that the mechanism latches itself when it gets to a certain amount of cable on a spool. Trying to understand how it works. So there's this piece here that would be on there on a drive. See, I can see the mechanism when it winds. It's got a. It looks like almost a timer. Interesting. So I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it looks like there's a mechanism there that latches it. You can see it's, but then when you unwind it, I want to pull this off and see if there's any I want to get this off so I can see if there's any cable in there. I do see cable in there. This is pretty cool. It's got like a built-in way of latching itself. And there's a ball there. That's actually the end of the cable that's crimped. So what I'd like to do is get this out of there. And if I can put that back in there, maybe I can crimp it and make it work. It looks like it's pretty full, like it doesn't need any more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this and cut it with my Dremel to get a smooth cut there. Let's see. So it's pretty cool what I found so far. The cable's in there, and it doesn't look like it could really hold any more, but it just broke right there. I'm going to cut that off and see if I can make it work. Really cool timing design here. I'm not exactly sure who thought of this, but I'm impressed. I still, by looking at it, I am a little bit confused about how it works. But hopefully when I get this thing working, I can figure it out. The first thing I want to do is get this cable with a good end on it. Yeah, that would be a start. So if I can get that to go back through this hole, I'll be on my way to solving the problem, maybe. I got kind of a clean cut there. That's nice. So you can see this doesn't really hold much more than it's got on it. And I got it through there. Now what I'll try to do is get it working, and then maybe at the end of the process re-grease it. I have a feeling there's a specific place for that to be engaged, but I'm not sure where it is. Like I feel like this has to be put in at just the right spot. This one sort of swelled on me. There we go. Yeah, it definitely goes that way, I think. So it looks like this piece here, that slot there, goes in where the cable is. Pretty cool design. I wish I knew how it worked. See if I can figure anything out with it. So it is winding it up. I feel like this piece should be over here on this side. I think that was over there. It looks like it catches it. I'll try it like that. Let's see how. That looks like it catches it, sorta, if there's a lot of tension on it. So what I'm going to do some experimenting with it. I'm going to put it back together. Oh yeah, I see these bolt holes. Those go through these catches there. There's one there and one there. So I can put this back together and do some testing with it. First thing I want to do is crimp up this end of the cable so it won't fray on me. And those big rivets, I can probably tack weld those. Or try to find some bolts that fit. That'll be my first. I'll try and find some bolts that diameter. I can go through there and then I can cap this all back together and try it out. But looks like I might be able to make it work. So it looks like these rivets are a good old 1/4 inch diameter. So I just found some 1/4 inch bolts I've got. And I can put these in and bolt that together. just long enough. But this is just temporarily. When I get it figured out, I'm going to fill it with grease, and I'll probably tack weld these nuts on there so they can't come off. These could be a little longer, I think, but they'll do for now, just to hold that thing together. Now I need to find out these other case bolts, what size they would be. 0.15, to see what I can find to hold the case together. So the 4 bolts that hold the case, turns out those are number 8s. So this, I'm guessing, was made in the USA. By somebody holding out on the metric system. The next thing I want to do is stabilize this cable. I don't want it fraying anymore. So I'm going to put a crimp on there or something. Cable clamp, something to hold it in place. And let's see, this thing is a 0.165. I like to use a metric myself. It's easier to remember. 4.2. Alright, let's see what I can find to hold this thing together. Then I can test it. So until I can find the right crimp for this steel cable, I want to put some heat shrink on there to keep it from fraying. Oh no.
Early!
4.2 millimeters. 1.65 diameter. 1.65 diameter. Okay, let's see if I can find. I might have to end up splicing onto this since it broke. Not sure what I'm going to have to do. I'm not sure if the length of it is timed or if it's some sort of pressure thing that causes it to latch. I feel like it's with pressure because of that giant spring. I think when we get that spring on there that you're seeing on the end of there, when you compress that spring, I think it it puts enough tension on this to latch the mechanism, and then the only way it can unlock is by unwinding it. I believe that's how they did it, or why. So cool, I like that thing.